This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jacqueline Matter in for Scott Dennis today. Thank you for joining us and happy Independence Day to you all. As Americans are celebrating their country's birthday with big-time fireworks, small-town parades, and the quirky spectacle of competitive hot dog eating. In New York, thousands are expected to watch the annual Macy's fireworks blowout. In Washington, President Donald Trump is observing his first Independence Day in office by hosting a White House picnic for military families, followed by a fireworks viewing event for military families and staffers. And in Boston, one of 14 original copies of the Declaration of Independence will be on display at a museum, and hundreds of thousands of people are expected at the city's fireworks show. Meanwhile, more than 15,000 new citizens will be sworn in today during more than 65 Independence Day themed naturalization ceremonies across the country. A restaurant on Siesta Key isn't celebrating, however, though, after a truck smashed through its front window. It happened this morning around 9:30 at the Lobster Pot restaurant on Ocean Boulevard. The person driving this white pickup truck lost control and somehow managed to go straight into the front of the building. The driver was taken to the hospital. He is said to be in stable condition. Police believe a medical condition may have caused that accident. And here on the Suncoast, the holiday festivities are already underway on Longboat Key. The annual parade kicked off at Bicentennial Park. Plenty of spectators showed up to show off their patriotism. They lined the streets as the parade made its way around on Bay Isles Road. Visitors from all across the country took part in the day's fun and had this to say about the event.
AC's really into dogs and fire trucks. That was a very big attraction for us, and we wanted to see the shortest parade possible, so we're here.
Well, Anna Maria Island's Privateers also held a parade that began at Coquina Beach and ended at the city pier. Meanwhile, a local nonprofit is looking to make sure no one goes hungry this 4th of July. The Bauer Foundation kicking off its first annual Red, White, and Blue barbecue. According to a recent census, Florida has among the highest rates of homelessness in the country. Manatee and Sarasota are listed among the top counties. Hamburgers, chips, hot dogs, and soda will be provided to those in need. That barbecue will take place at 3 o'clock at the Joseph Storehouse Restoration Center in Bradenton. And before tonight's big fireworks shows, people have already been sending store-bought fireworks into the air. You've seen the stands all across the roads on the side of the streets, but if not used properly, it could result in trips to the emergency room. Every year, firefighters are called to more than 100 incidents related to the improper use of fireworks. Some safety precautions you can take include not giving sparklers to young children. Also, keep water and a fire extinguisher near any fireworks at all times. The State Fire Marshal's office says the best way to enjoy fireworks is to see them in public.
There are a number of great fireworks shows out there that counties and governments and different organizations put on, and we absolutely 100% recommend, if you want to see a great fireworks show, leave it up to the professionals.
Florida law limits the sale of sparklers and fountains. Meanwhile, bottle rockets, Roman candles, and other airborne fireworks are completely banned. Specific rules about where fireworks can be shot off also vary by county. And preparations for one of the biggest fireworks displays on the Suncoast are already underway on Siesta Key Beach. The 27th annual 4th of July fireworks display will be lighting up the skies tonight. It all starts at 9 o'clock as long as weather permits. The best spots to watch the fireworks is anywhere south and along Crescent Beach, out on the Gulf, or from the Intercoastal Waterway. The show is free. Also, the 4th Festival along the Manatee River in Palmetto, it will be having a fireworks display around that same time. And if you're heading to the beaches on Anna Maria Island this 4th of July, there are some important rules to keep in mind. Beach rules and regulations for the island include no fireworks, no grills, no alcohol, no glass, no pets, and no bikes. First-time offenders face a $75 fine. Holmes Beach Police say they will be increasing their patrols throughout the day.
We have extra guys working beach patrol for the holidays. We also have the sheriff's office out. They have 2 deputies out on horses, and there's also another group of guys for crowd control.
One more thing to keep in mind, there is a noise ordinance on Anna Maria Island in place from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. and lots of people hoping that the weather holds off for some of these events throughout the evening, John.
Yeah, looks like it will.
Yeah,
it looks pretty good actually. The rain chances are pretty low for this time of year, and
good.
so I think it should be all right. You know, it's funny you were reading the story about being careful with fireworks and such, and I was just thinking back to when I was a kid. And it was a different time back then. I mean, we used to have sparklers, you know, and we'd play around with sparklers and everything else. And they're dangerous.
They really are. They get so close to your hand by the time it gets to the end that sometimes, I know when I was little, I would get very scared from them.
They get as hot as a propane torch.
Yeah.
that welders use. You know, I mean, it's
very
crazy.
dangerous.
Very dangerous. The weather should cooperate nicely.
Good.
I think we'll probably see a scattered shower or two build in mostly inland areas a little bit later in the day, but for the most part, I think most of us will see some blue skies out there. Right now, the Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows a beautiful blue sky to start off the day. Sun rose and there's a few fair weather clouds around, but really not too terribly many. And none of them producing any rainfall at this hour. I think the inland residents will probably have the best chance of seeing some showers around Hardy, DeSoto, inland Charlotte County. You all have a chance at seeing a shower or two. But for the most part, I think it will be confined to inland areas. Satellite view shows lots of sunshine around. That, I think, is going to be the big thing. How hot it gets today, and it will be a scorcher, particularly at the beaches, you know, with that reflective sand. The UV index for most of us is going to come in at about a 12, but when you have that reflective white quartz sand, I mean, you can get a lot more reflected UV rays and concentrated UV rays at that. So, you know, burn pretty quickly today, I think. So be sure and slather on that sunscreen if you're heading out there. We'll look at about a 20%. That's it. Chance of rainfall today. Not too bad for this time of year. We'll talk about the forecast and how the rain chances will be going up, plus a very active tropics. We may be looking at dawn here in a couple of days, the next name on the list. Talk all about it in a few minutes, Jacqueline.
All right, thank you so much, John. Certainly stay hydrated if you are going outdoors today. New at noon, the city of Sarasota extends the ban on medical marijuana dispensaries within city limits. The decision was made last night during a city meeting. That ban will hold for only 60 days while commissioners work on an ordinance that would regulate dispensaries. The Sarasota Police Department has been meeting with commissioners about the rules. Just last October, the city put a 6-month ban into place. 2 people are recovering after reportedly being beaten and robbed last night. It all happened on 12th Street West in Bradenton just after 10 p.m. According to a Manatee County Sheriff's Office report, the 2 men were walking to the Walgreens when another man approached them and offered to sell them drugs. The victims said no, and reportedly the suspect then attacked one of them. Several other suspects then got involved and began beating the 2 victims. The suspects then took the men's money and ran off. The victims were taken to the hospital where they were treated and released. A tragic 4th of July holiday for 4 families in Port Charlotte whose loved ones were killed in a fiery car crash. The 4 victims all died Sunday when their Audi struck an SUV and caught fire in Inglewood. It happened just before 4 o'clock in the morning. Troopers say the men were driving down Rosemont Drive and ran the stop sign, causing the crash. Family and friends of the young men continue to mourn.
He's one of my closest brothers. I love you. Miss you. Wish it wasn't you. Definitely don't wish it was anybody else, but just don't want it to be you.
Well, the family of 5 in the SUV were taken to the hospital for treatment. The 4 young men who died ranged in age from 20 to 25. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. A redevelopment effort is in the works for a busy stretch of the Suncoast. Plans to transform Sarasota's North Trail may include an apartment complex and the ever-popular Starbucks coffee chain. Benderson Development and the city recently made the next move in building that coffee shop, which would be south of the Ringling College campus. The city is currently waiting on revised plans from Benderson Development in order to finalize that project. Well, the Florida Gators made history this year, winning their first ever College World Series. It was a milestone made possible thanks to 3 former Suncoast players. For one, it was the perfect way to end a college career, and for another, it's only the beginning. Adam Cellini has more.
Just go out there and do your thing, and let's get out of here in 2 games.
It took Tyler Dyson only a few hours to go from freshman to hero on college baseball's biggest stage.
I was more nervous coming out of the game, actually, when I wasn't in there, because you can't control it. When you're out there pitching, it's just you can control everything that's going on.
Control is exactly what the former Braden River High player showed in his second start ever as a Florida Gator, shutting out LSU over a career-high 6 innings in the national championship game.
At the end of the day, after the first pitch is thrown, it's just baseball. And whether there's 25,000 people in the stands or 25, it's the same game. The mound's still 60 feet, 6 inches from the plate.
Dyson was one of 3 former Suncoast standouts who helped the Gators make history. For shortstop Dalton Guthrie, it's how he'll make his exit from the program.
To be a part of the group that was the first one to ever do it, especially after I think it was 103 years, is pretty cool, and hopefully get remembered for a long time.
Even more special was doing it alongside his Venice High School classmate Mike Rivera. Craig Faulkner had a chance to coach them all, Guthrie and Rivera as Indians and Dyson during summer ball.
It's great for Venice, it's great for this area. Those guys were winners when they were here. They took our program to the next level, winning 2 state championships when they were here. They just play the game right.
Something Dyson will no doubt try to duplicate as his area teammates move on to the next level. And despite high expectations for the 19-year-old next season, the goal hasn't changed.
I'm just trying to win another one.
Adam Cellini, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Still to come on ABC7 at noon, can a new test help people find out if they have a hair loss gene? More on that coming up in Health Smart. And Chef Bob joining us from Gold Rush Barbecue today. What do you have cooking up for us today, Chef?
Well, we are thrilled to be here. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Such a great barbecue day. And of course, Gold Rush is open, but we're going to show some techniques to smoking ribs at home.
All right, sounds delicious. Can't
All right.
wait. We'll be back. Stay right with us.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, we're looking at an air temperature coming in already at 88 degrees, very close to the 90-degree mark. In some places, we've hit it 74. Our dew point is certainly a humid afternoon, as we would expect on the 4th of July. As we head into the later part of the afternoon and our temperatures climb into the lower 90s, that dew point value will combine with the air temperature to make it feel like, especially in inland areas, pretty close to the 100-degree mark. So by all means, stay hydrated, and if you're doing any strenuous outside activities, you know, give yourself a break now and then. 88 degrees in Wauchula, 89, almost 90 in Arcadia, 88 degrees in Myakka, 89 in Parrish, Lakewood Ranch. Bradenton comes in at 88 degrees. You've got 90 in Venice, 88 degrees in Inglewood, Northport, 90 in Punta Gorda. And over here on Longboat Key, 87 degrees. Not much in the way of any kind of radar echoes currently, though I do suspect that will be changing over the course of the next few hours. Mostly east of the interstate is where we'll see the most likely beginnings of our showers. You can already see kind of the beginnings of a sea breeze front beginning to advance into our area from the other coast. That will, of course, be aided by a general southeasterly wind flow, and those rain showers that you see here will become more increasing in number in the southern tip of the state, eventually working their way into interior sections of Hardy, DeSoto, and also into Charlotte County as well. Will develop that west coast sea breeze. That sea breeze will collide with that general southeasterly wind flow, and boom, we get our showers and thunderstorms, just as we have seen over the last several days. The wind flow is a little bit lighter today, I think, so we'll probably see a more intense sea breeze develop. Now, what that will simply do is keep most of the showery activity, I think, out in inland sections of the Sun Coast. We also have some slightly more stable air aloft, so the number of storms that we see will be limited today as well. This high-pressure ridge really extends all the way across the center part of the state and out into Gulf waters. And the axis, the sort of the center of that high-pressure ridge is really right over the Sun Coast. And with that kind of a situation, it tends to lead to a more stable weather condition and some lighter, more variable winds. As far as the forecast for today goes, I bet you we could get some 1 inch, inch and a half rainfalls in inland areas today, but there'll be slow-moving storms, and that's one of the reasons we'll get those kind of rainfall totals. They'll tend to lift off to the north and to the west, and generally speaking, die out as they get closer to shore. So the best rain chances will be inland. We'll have a very warm afternoon, as I mentioned. The feels-like temperatures up close to that century mark, and a very slow-moving storm system as well. Slow-moving storms. The forecast for the beach, again, calls for that UV index to be warm, coming in at about a 12, 92 degrees at the beach. Watch that UV index. Boy, it won't take long for fair-skinned folks to get a good burn going. So slather on the SPF 50 or better sunscreen. 85 degrees, the air temperature, I think, by this evening at around 9 o'clock under partly cloudy skies and just an isolated shower. Good boating weather, by the way. You'll have, generally speaking, a light chop out there. 20% chance of rain. That's it for today. Pretty nice little break there for a 4th of July. And then over the next several days, slowly increasing rain chances as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Love those 4th of July graphics you had going on over there. In today's Health Smart, penicillin is the most commonly reported drug allergy. But now a new study shows that far fewer of us might actually have the allergy than we think. ABC's Emily Rao has more on those findings.
Antibiotics, nearly a century old, they are the drugs that have drastically changed the way that doctors treat infections. And the giant in the field is penicillin. Millions of Americans identify themselves as being allergic to penicillin. But is this actually true? In a new study, researchers at the Medical College of Wisconsin say that most of those who think they're allergic may be wrong. They tested 100 children who, according to their parents, had reactions to penicillin like rash, itchy skin, and nausea. Every single one tested negative for penicillin allergy, so their symptoms must have come from something else. The researchers didn't test kids whose parents reported high-risk reactions like breathing problems, heart or blood pressure issues, or blisters. Still, those with a history of low-risk reactions are usually switched over to other antibiotics, which can sometimes mean the treatment isn't as effective. So, think you have a penicillin allergy? Are you sure? With this Medical Minute, I'm Emily Rao.
There's a new test for predicting if you have the gene for hair loss. With a swab from your cheek, the HairDx test uses DNA to predict whether men are more likely to have hair loss. If a man tests positive, he will have a 6 in 10 chance of going bald before the age of 40. HairDx can also test for a genetic variant where 85% of men with the variant will not go bald by age 40. If your results come back with a likelihood that you'll lose your hair, you can always start on Propecia or Rogaine, the 2 FDA-approved treatments. Still ahead on ABC 7 at noon, talk about a belly buster. The 4th of July not only brings about celebrations, but also competitions. The delicious details coming up.
I'm Alan Cohn. Defining patriotism in divided times. The 4th of July is a time to come together as Americans. We'll show you how politics is making it more difficult.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. It's a summer travel spectacular, including a first look at the new Pandora, the world of Avatar at Walt Disney World, and Sunny Bunny. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help.
And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Welcome back, 12:23 on your Tuesday afternoon. That 4th of July barbecue may cost you. The National Retail Federation says Americans will spend just over $7 billion on food for Independence Day cookouts and picnics. But food isn't the only thing people will pay for. In today's Consumer Watch, Mary Maloney shows us where the money goes this 4th of July.
Americans are patriotic, at least in terms of what we buy. According to the National Retail Federation, 65% of people own an American flag. 53% have the stars and stripes on things like T-shirts, bathing suits, or shoes. Still, retailers expect 28% to buy more patriotic items, which is why big box stores like Walmart and Target sell anything from plates to pillows featuring the red, white, and blue. Of those celebrating the 4th, 162 million people will take part in a cookout or picnic, spending an average of about $73 per person. And that's just for the food. Many people, 44%, will watch fireworks, and 14% will see a parade. No matter what you and your family do, know that about 219 million others are also celebrating independence. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
U.S. automakers are reporting a sharp drop in sales for the month of June. Compared to a year ago, both General Motors and Ford said sales were down 5%. Fiat Chrysler reported a 7% decline. Analysts say they're seeing a pattern as vehicle sales in the United States have lagged behind 2016 levels every single month this year. Automakers say sales for SUVs and crossovers were strong, but the sale of more traditional cars have been sliding due to low gas prices. Well, a returning champion made her mark in D.C. yesterday by devouring, get this, 21 hamburgers in record time. Molly Schuyler celebrated the July 4th holiday weekend by winning the Z-Burger Annual Independence Day Burger Eating Championship. The contest was hosted by Washington, D.C. area restaurant Z-Burger. Schuyler is a Nebraska native and mother of 4 who has won this competition twice before. Contestants lined up at a table, each with plenty of bottles of water and a pile of hamburgers. When the clock started, the competitive eaters had 2 minutes to eat as many as possible. And if you remember, she ate 21 of them. That's insane. Well, barbecue tends to be a staple on the 4th of July. And joining us and John in the kitchen today is Chef Bob from Gold Rush Barbecue. Hey guys, what you cooking up over there?
Can I tell you, it is so unfair that all the winners of these contests weigh like 20 pounds. There's not a 300-pounder amongst them. Anyway. 4th of July,
right.
You know, Memorial Day, and probably the Super Bowl, the 3 big barbecue days, and you're here to teach us how to do the standard ribs.
I'm glad to be here, too.
Good to have you here always. Great food down there at Gold Rush.
Thank you, John. You know, there's a couple of quick ways, not a quick way, but a couple easy ways to do ribs at home if you'd like to do so. And we're going to show you that low and slow method really quick today. Okay, first of all, you have your baby backs, which are, from the back of the pig and very lean. Then you have your spare ribs, and we at Gold Rush actually use this cut, which is a St. Louis cut. So you get a lot of that knuckle and all that out of the way, so you have a nice clean rib. But most important, when you're shopping for ribs, you want to obtain skinless ribs because they all have a membrane on the bottom.
That silver skin in the back.
Right, and the baby backs are usually always that way.
I tell you, I find that really hard to get off. So I usually just
spare
ask
ribs,
the butcher.
yeah, aren't always so easy. But if you do have to take it off, you start with a knife and then just pull like that.
Look at you.
Okay, see, and just kind of get it right there. I've had a little bit of practice. We won't waste the time on the rest, but I wanted to show you the method.
Okay.
Okay, and then next is the rib rub. Everybody has their favorite secret rib rub, but we'll just do a really basic one today, but have some fun with it. Add rosemary, maybe oregano, maybe some brown sugar, on and on. But to start with, a basic black pepper is always good. And then we like to add some salt. You have to have that salt to break down the meat and give it that great flavor. Of course, a little garlic powder never hurts. And for color and a little more flavor, some paprika.
I'm guessing you probably wouldn't want to use whole garlic, right?
No, powdered is best. That way, you're making it into this dry rub. Okay, and then once you get the rub ready, as we've just done, you saw how quick that was, you want to actually get it on that product, on the bottom and on the top.
And be liberal with this,
yeah,
right?
Just go right ahead and get it really in there because that's your chance of flavoring some meat really well before we even start getting it hot. So once you have the ribs rubbed down, then we have to think about how we're going to cook it. First, I'm going to show you really quick at home. Number one, don't boil the ribs. Even people will come into Gold Rush and say, hey, these are really tender. Do you boil them? No, no, no. You basically might as well drink the water in the pot because all the flavor's in there.
Oh.
You want to possibly steam a little bit, and that's where you take a pan like this with the rack on the bottom.
Okay.
Lay the ribs in there, and then take a little bit of water. For moisture, put it in the bottom of the pan. Don't let the ribs touch the water. Then you want to cover the pan, and you're creating like a little steam bath. And then you're going to take this and put it in an oven at about 225 degrees.
That seems to be the magic number.
3 hours, right? That is a magic
3
number.
hours, really?
For about 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
Now, you don't have to have this big, giant smoker. You can smoke at home on a little grill like this. I'm going to show you a method that we call the snake method.
Okay.
So you take your coal chimney, and these I love because remember throwing like a gallon of lighter fluid on there to get them going?
Right.
You just take your newspaper, put it in the bottom. There's a rack inside, load it up with the coals, and then light the paper in the hole right there.
They work great.
Yeah, they just heat the coals right up. So
and you're a fan of charcoal over propane?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I use propane at the restaurant because it's just more feasible, but charcoal at home is just great. Okay, so now on the grill itself, to make your grill into a little smoker, you have a bottom vent on most grills, and then you have a lower grate, and you want to line up these coals that are not hot about halfway around the grill. This method will allow the meat to heat indirectly for up to maybe 6 hours, depending on how long you make that chain and if you have a real full-size grill.
Got about 30 seconds left.
Oh, you're kidding me. Okay.
No,
so
sorry about that.
You want to take some hot coals and put them at the beginning, and this is going to allow this to go around. You put a little bit of water.
In a pan.
In a pan. Then you take your top rack, put it on top. The rib, of course, you put, right here over this water pan and allow it to smoke at 225, regulated by the vent or the thermometer.
And is this the meat that has come out of the steam bath?
No, that was the oven method.
That's another method.
You're going to smoke them on
gotcha.
here for, again, 225 for about 3 hours.
Okay.
Then they're going to come out looking like this.
There we go. Now we're talking, ladies and gentlemen.
And like we do at Gold Rush, put them on the grill fully cooked and smoked. And finish it off with the barbecue sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And John, you are ready to go.
I am ready to go. I tell you what, I'm ready to dive into these. The Gold Rush Barbecue always makes great food. These ribs look absolutely spectacular. Thanks for the tip. That's really cool.
My pleasure. I shake your hand, but I'm all messy.
All right, here you go. Have no idea about the ring of unlit
right,
charcoals.
It just slowly goes around, and of course I forgot to say, because we were rushed, put this wood on top of the coals.
Oh yeah, that's a critical addition there. All right. Well, the recipe is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go check there. All the instructions will be there for you. Thanks so much, Bob. Don't work too hard today. I know you guys are open, and you are going to be cranking it out this afternoon.
I hope so.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back, 12:34 on your Tuesday. A stunning claim overnight as North Korea says it has successfully tested its first intercontinental ballistic missile. President Trump and other world leaders responding to yet another escalation of already high tension within the country. ABC's Janae Norman has more.
As Americans are celebrating the 4th of July, new images out of North Korea show Kim Jong-un celebrating his latest successful missile launch, one the communist regime claims could reach the U.S.
This is the first time, if the analysis is correct, that we're seeing a North Korean weapon that can hit the United States. Not the mainland, but Alaska is very much part of the United States, and this is a very worrying development.
Those images coming just hours after a representative for China said at the UN that his country wants to de-escalate the rising tensions.
Currently, tension is high. Sooner or later, it will get out of control, and the consequences would be disastrous.
The Russian and Chinese foreign ministries released a joint statement in response to the launch, proposing that Pyongyang declare a moratorium on nuclear missile launches while the U.S. and South Korea hold off on large-scale military exercises. Following the launch, President Trump took to Twitter, tweeting, "Does this guy have anything better to do with his life?" suggesting China could, quote, end this nonsense once and for all. But that tweet starkly different from 2 weeks ago when the president tweeted China's efforts have, quote, not worked out. For months, President Trump has been trying to get China, North Korea's most important ally, to intervene, going back and forth on how helpful the country might be.
China has left us on our own. There's nobody that's going to solve this except the United States. And the problem is with this launch, it's no longer just a regional problem.
The North Korean regime claims this latest launch is the 11th so far this year, and this comes on the heels of the death of 22-year-old American college student Otto Warmbier after 17 months in captivity there. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
All right, John, it is 4th of July.
Yes, ma'am.
We are all excited for it. Everyone
Yes.
wants to get out to the beach. We know we need sunscreen. We know we need water.
Right.
Do we need an umbrella, or are we going to be okay this 4th of July holiday?
You know, I think we're going to be okay. I mean, obviously it's going to be hot in the summertime. An isolated shower could always pop up. But for a July 4th, the atmosphere is very stable, and there's really not much of a rain chance today. So I think we're looking good. I would be surprised if any of the fireworks displays were actually postponed because of rain showers around today.
Well, that is good news for a lot of people here on the
Darn
Suncoast.
tootin'. Sure is. Take a look at the Van Wezel webcam starting off this morning. Look how stable that environment is. Not much in the way of any kind of cloud cover around anywhere. And as we progress through the morning and into the early afternoon, only a few fair weather clouds building. None of them really have any loft. You might notice that. They're kind of flat clouds, and that's a good indication that the atmosphere is not really conducive to any kind of big thunderstorm development. I mean, in the past couple of days at this hour, we have already had showers building across the region, and we don't see that today, except in the very southern tip of the state. Now, we probably will see storms. They'll probably be mostly inland storms east of the interstate, but an isolated shower near the coast is possible, but only about a 20% chance of that. Inland, I'd put the rain chance at about 50%. And certainly by the time the fireworks go off at 9 o'clock tonight, I think things will have wound down quite significantly, and I doubt there are many showers about. Look for a daytime high that tops out warm at around 92 or 3, and the feels-like temperature close to the century mark. Complete forecast coming up in just a few. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, thank you so much, John. Check back in with you shortly. For the second day in a row, NASA's launch of the Falcon 9 rocket was scrubbed. It happened Monday night at Cape Canaveral, where the launch was in its final seconds when engineers canceled the takeoff. SpaceX says its experts will spend much of today examining data and reviewing the systems before trying another launch on Thursday or Friday. The reason for the canceled launch has not been revealed, but no technical problems were noted by engineers. And a scary moment yesterday near Walt Disney World after a hot air balloon landed in a retention pond near the theme park. The Florida Highway Patrol says the pilot was trying to land in a field off the turnpike, but ended up in the pond instead. The pilot told troopers that as he was coming in for a landing, the wind shifted and moved him in a different direction. 16 people were on board. One boy was rushed to the hospital after swallowing water, but no one else was hurt. One passenger from Denmark says he simply wanted to take his girlfriend out for a nice experience before they headed back home.
But And now we're kind of making fun of it, but it was serious, right? It's lucky that no one got hurt.
A crew spent about an hour removing the hot air balloon from the pond, which, by the way, get this, contained multiple alligators. From the state capitol, Governor Rick Scott is proceeding with executions after a more than 18-month delay. The governor rescheduling the execution for Mark Assay for August. He was originally scheduled to die last March for 2 murders in 1986, but it was put on hold after the U.S. Supreme Court found the state's death penalty unconstitutional. Since then, the legislature has changed the law twice, most recently requiring a unanimous jury recommendation for the death penalty. Assay would be the 24th person executed since Scott took office in 2011. And a judge finds Florida's controversial and updated Stand Your Ground law unconstitutional. A Miami-Dade Circuit judge ruling Florida lawmakers overstepped their authority when they recently made a change to that law. The judge says the changes should have been crafted by the state Supreme Court instead of the legislature. The legislature modified that 2005 law so that prosecutors must now prove that someone was not acting in self-defense. The ruling is a victory for prosecutors who believe it makes it easier for defendants to get away with murder and other violent crimes. Thanks to a new Florida law, families hosting foster children can now visit any of the state's 174 state parks for free. These same families can also get a 50% discount on camping fees inside state parks. All they have to do is bring proof that they are a licensed foster home along with proper ID. The assistant director of Florida State Parks says being in nature is a good way for kids to experience some sort of normalcy during what can be an otherwise stressful time in their lives.
All children to get out and enjoy the outdoors in the real Florida is such a hidden gem in all regions of the state. There are Florida State Parks, which can get people out into the resources and really make the memories of being outside. And that's what this benefit will do for foster families.
In addition to foster families, parents who adopt special needs children from the Department of Children and Families are also eligible for a one-time family annual entrance pass at no charge. A bit of a scare for a family visiting Silver Springs State Park last week in Ocala when they came across a group of rowdy monkeys. At first, all was calm, but a few minutes later, things quickly escalated.
Guys, this is Florida.
Guys, the monkeys are attacking! Oh my God! Guys, the monkeys are attacking us!
Well, the monkeys in that video are called Reese's monkeys and have lived at Silver Springs for more than 75 years. This video shows the monkeys obviously getting angry and starting to growl, even chasing some people. Luckily, no one was hurt, but officials do warn that monkey attacks can get dangerous. If you spot a monkey in the wild, you should never look them directly in the eye or smile with your teeth showing. That's considered a sign of aggression. Interesting. Well, still ahead, Linda Carson takes us back to the beginning of Venice, and you may be surprised how much history the small town has. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off
off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Looking at an air temperature coming in almost at the 90 mark already at 88 degrees with a dew point of 74. West wind has started. We got a little bit of a sea breeze beginning to build. That's the reason you've seen some of the clouds in some of our tower cam pictures that I've shown you over the course of the hour. And we'll see those clouds building in inland areas. And a couple of showers will develop, especially in inland areas. I don't think we'll see a whole lot near the coast, but you know what? It is summer. It's a July 4th, and I wouldn't be shocked to see an isolated shower build along the coastline during the evening hours. Wouldn't be, unheard of, but the rain chance is small, only at about 20%. Here's what I'd recommend. You go to your app store and download the new and improved WWSB weather app, and that will give you some excellent radar that'll keep you absolutely informed of where those showers are a little bit later on. We also have some showers building down to the south of us, moisture heavier down here, southeasterly wind flow kind of encouraging and coaxing those showers along a line, which is basically your sea breeze front enhanced by a southeast wind, pushing up toward Hardy, DeSoto, inland parts of Charlotte County as well. I think the most likely location for showers along the coast today would probably be around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor from Inglewood south. But standard thunderstorm activity is what we would expect to see today. We're not looking at severe weather. Severe weather will be isolated in areas back to the west in the northern tier. And also the Carolinas have a potential of seeing some stronger storms as well. As far as the big national fireworks celebrations that will be televised today, I would say that you have a possibility of a shower or two in Washington, D.C., maybe a thunderstorm there. That is a potential, about a 40 to 50% chance of that. Higher chance than we have here along our coastline. New York City will probably get off without a hitch. High pressure brings us that southeasterly wind flow, and as we progress through the afternoon, the southeast wind collides with the sea breeze front, and we get showers building along the spine, mostly inland, with a few scattered showers closer to the coastline late in the afternoon and into the evening. I think by around 9 o'clock tonight, everything will have wound down. Best rain chance inland, very warm afternoon with feels like temperatures, particularly inland, near 100 degrees. So take it easy out there. You can see those showers that will be around during the afternoon, mostly in inland areas. And then tomorrow, we'll do it again, only the direction of motion might encourage a few more of those showers along the immediate coastline. So a nice little break that we get today. Speaking of the tropics are heating up. This cluster of storms far away from the United States, about 3,000 miles from the Sun Coast, has a good potential of developing, 70 to 80% chance of developing, and the forecast model tracks take it on a line that gets it set pretty close to the Lesser Antilles with time. There's some dry air to the north of it, and that could be a limiting factor, but in the short range anyway, it has a good potential of developing strength. We'll watch what happens after about Thursday or Friday as these computer models converge on a solution then that might take it toward the east coast of the state of Florida. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Again, the UV index today about a 12 near the beach, so slather on the sunscreen. Daytime highs probably coming in the low 90s today. Better chances of rain in the days ahead. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. When the city of Venice was built, it was one group who helped create the design. Now more than 100 of the original buildings are still standing in the area. Our Linda Carson shows us why that's one of the reasons that Venice is such a great place to call home.
Everybody's familiar with Venice Avenue, but just one block away is historic Burgundy Square. It's a unique collection of shops and restaurants, and the whole area looks very much like it did in 1926. That's the year the city of Venice was built by the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers. Seeing how well the new city was going, other investors jumped on the bandwagon and built these 4 buildings on Miami Avenue.
Mr. Thomas Green from St. Petersburg built a building here behind us. Has 10 apartments on the 2nd floor, had 5 offices, 4 stores, and in the end building right here in front of us, there was an arcade for garage where you could pull your Model T in and have it serviced out of the sun.
The next building was named after Bud Wimmers, the payroll clerk for the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers.
In 1929, in the Depression, and the Brotherhood pulled out of the project, Bud stayed behind as the receiver for the BLE Realty Corporation. He also became the person representative for the power company, water company, telephone. So if you wanted to buy a house in Venice, you went through Bud for everything.
Tenants in the 3rd building have come and gone over the years.
From barber shop, the elementary school was there in the 1930s. There were 2 funeral homes that were located in that building.
And the last building was constructed in 1926 by Mrs. Lewis Lawton.
The interesting thing about that building was the windows were kind of built in a bayfront style, so the shopkeepers could put their wares in the windows for everyone to see.
Burgundy Square was made up of 4 distinctive buildings until a decade ago, when the spaces between them were filled in with shops, making it one continuous block. 2 years ago, a businessman committed to historic preservation bought out the entire block.
And wants to continue to build and renovate it in that manner so it retains its grandeur of the 1920s.
You can learn more about Burgundy Square in an article Larry Humes recently wrote for the Venice Gondolier. He says it's very important to Venice's future to preserve its past.
The whole city is our museum. That's the beauty of it. If you go to another city, or like Sarasota or Tampa, we have a building that says this is the way it used to look. This is the way it looked.
Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, still to come, a blast from the past as a popular album from the 80s makes a comeback. We'll have more on that story coming up in entertainment.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors. The official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Download yours today.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Welcome back. It's a blast from the past as Prince and the Revolution's Purple Rain soundtrack to the hit 1984 film has re-entered the Billboard 200 album chart at number 4, all thanks to the deluxe remastered reissue released on June 23rd. The new package contains all previous versions of Purple Rain, unreleased bonus tracks, and rare video. Warner Brothers records say the reissue was overseen and sanctioned by Prince prior to his death last year. And it'll be a working holiday for the Beach Boys tonight. The All-American Band will sing at the annual Capitol 4th celebration in Washington. They'll belt out 4 of their biggest hits. Also scheduled to perform, country star Trace Adkins and the Four Tops. John Stamos will host the 37th annual concert on the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol, while PBS will carry the event live starting at 8 p.m. And you might call it Mother Nature's fireworks display. NASA released a time-lapse video from the International Space Station of the Aurora Borealis dancing above the Earth. The big event was filmed on June 25th. Beautiful shot there. That's amazing.
Yeah, you know what's really cool for me about that shot? The Aurora Borealis, that happens up in the ionosphere of the atmosphere, which is like the furthest most parts of the atmosphere, 600, 700, 800 miles up in the sky.
Right.
But the part of the atmosphere, and it looks like a very thin slice there, right, where it's happening? But the part of the atmosphere where we breathe, where our weather occurs, is only 10 miles thick. Just a little teeny sliver of life-sustaining atmosphere.
Interesting.
It's cool.
Well, you guys have a safe and happy 4th of July holiday.